All right, fellas, welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. We have our next draft, a $100 Yahoo prize. Categories this time. Our first one was points. This is our second one, and it's a categories league. I'm sure y'all are familiar with that format. That is the classic Yahoo format. So you can expect me to unleash that army of pitchers going after the power hitters, looking for home runs, RBIs, going to punt on batting average, but not punting on the steals. I'm going to go ahead and take the steals where I can get them too. Because, you might as well get the bye week instead of just make the playoffs, get the bye week too, right? All right, so let's take a look here. I am pick number 6. Not ideal, not great, but that's going to look at some guys like Jose Ramirez, Ellie De La Cruz, maybe a pitcher in Paul Skeens, maybe take a chance on Acuna's comeback year. So we'll see how this all plays out. I don't expect to be able to get one of these top 5 guys. I genuinely, maybe Scooble. But, given what's in front of me, there's a very good chance that I'm looking at Jose Ramirez, Ellie De La Cruz. These are my 2 guys. All right, I'm going to see you guys when this gets underway. All right, so the first pick as happening here in... Oh, boy, he's going to pick Judge or Shohei Ohtani. We know how this is going to go. And he took Ohtani. That's what I took with my first pick in my points league. There goes Judge. So, this first couple of picks going exactly as we expect them to. And what? Witt, Soto. Okay, easy, right? And that'll bring it back around to me. And I'm kind of looking at Ramirez. That's just the way to go with this. The guy just signed, a 73-year contract, so he's gonna be in the nursing home still playing for Cleveland, so that's good for him. There went Soto. We're going to have Jose Ramirez, and he's gone. Ah, you bastard. Okay, so now we've got a pivot. Pivot. We're looking for some hidden power, maybe. Corbin Carroll's not a bad idea. Ellie De La Cruz, fine shortstop, but I know I can grab one later. Julio Rodriguez finally came back to his roots. We've got some pitchers. Not sure if I would take any of these guys this early. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. So, okay. Tariq Skubal. There's the pick. Tariq Skubal. We're going to start out with a pitcher. All right, fellas, I'll see you back when it gets back to me. Turn again. And so second round, I'm definitely not taking a pitcher. I'm going to need a bat. I'm thinking I could Pete Alonso at first base. I could Kurtz at first base. But I'd like to grab my third baseman here in Junior Caminero and then come back around and take a Matt Olson, Rafael Devers, Pete Crow Armstrong. You get the routine. So let's do some Caminero. Booyah. Coming back to me with probably Matt Olson, fellas. That makes it my turn. They did, in fact, bring Matt Olson back to me. So we're going to go ahead and shore up that at first base, I think. Bryce Harper's still here. Machado is still here, but I have a third baseman. Olson's still here. Pete Crow Armstrong still here. These are tough decisions, right? These are tough decisions. Tough. Pete Crow Armstrong and Matt Olson, that's a tough one to choose from because could I still get Devers back to me? And if I don't, what's left? Josh Naylor. But I do need to get a first baseman. And I have a lot of faith in Matt Olson for several years now. So that looks like the path we're going to take. Now we got Olson and Caminero as our bats. Skubal as a pitcher. 3 rounds in. Everything's coming together just like we expect. With my turn up next, and I've got these pitchers staring at me, Logan Webb, Chris Sale, Logan Gilbert. I just cannot do that, though, because I'm going to suffer in some categories if I don't start working like James Wood right here. So, James Wood, welcome to the Random City Sports Ballers, my friend. Next up, probably a shortstop. We're just about back to my pick. And look, guys, I was going to go shortstop, but they've left Logan Webb and Logan Gilbert. So now I've just got to take Logan Webb. I want the strikeouts. I want that glorious low ERA and whip. And, you know, it's just I can wait. I think I can wait for another bat right here. You know, I think I can wait one more round and still catch my shortstop. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Logan Webb and have our second starting pitcher, Skubal and Webb. Fellas, oh boy. Starting out with some strong pitching, but I hope I didn't sacrifice too much in my bats. I don't think I have. I've got plenty of time, plenty of players left to grab. We'll see you in round 6. So my turn will be up here just a few seconds. You know, we've got obviously some shortstops we can look at. I've got Corey Seager and Bo Bichette, C.J. Abrams. So I'm genuinely looking at, all right, maybe I should go ahead and pull that trigger while we're sitting here. C.J. Abrams is going to put up more stolen bases. Corey Seager is going to put up a lot more home runs. So the question comes, which of these guys, you know, who's going to do me better? C.J. Abrams is, you know, not going to be great for RBIs or home runs. So that doesn't fall in with my normal draft strategy. So we're going to take Corey Seager, fellas. Okay, it's come back to me again, and I can source some power at catcher here with Langoliers. I don't know that I'm going to do that. I mean, I could look at outfield, grab some power in Soderstrom. I could grab a little bit of power and some stolen bases in O'Neal Cruz. Randy Arozarena is going to be, I mean, that could be a great pick. So, you know what, fellas? I think I'm going to take Arozarena. Shore up some of those stolen bases again. Guarantee some power in here. That's just, I'm going to take a chance that my second base will work out for me. So, Arozarena. Coming up on me next, and fellas, my gamble at second base didn't work. They took Michael Garcia with 88th pick, just a couple picks before me. So now we're looking to, well, let's see what we can actually do. There went Soderstrom. We could actually take some pitchers here, but I don't know that that's the move. I want to look at relief pitchers, though, because you see here we've still got some pretty solid relief pitchers. Devin Williams in New York, and then we've got Aroldis Chapman in Boston. So this is my normal round 8, 9, 10 where I look to grab a relief pitcher. Let's go ahead and grab Aroldis Chapman. All right. Now with all that behind us, we can actually start looking at, I could look at starting pitchers again. Luzardo had a fine season last year, especially when you didn't count the strikeouts. Pablo Lopez in a shortened season did okay. Teoscar Hernandez is sitting right there looking at me. Wanting to be my final outfielder. Let's see what the other outfielders available are. Who's available after our guy? Okay. Adele's still around. That's not a bad idea. Taylor Ward's still around. Okay, there's some players there. So let's go ahead on, go back to all players. And I think it's time to pick up another pitcher. We're going to go with Kevin Gausman. And there we have that. Of course, Hernandez went right after, but, I mean, I had seen other players available, so we're going to wait. And you can see I've got Brandon Lowe teed up as my, well, second baseman that I took a chance. I took a chance. And they took Garcia, so I missed out on all those stolen bases. But we're going to be all right. Coming back in 10 picks. to me it looks like. And I've got a couple of guys here queued up between Adele and O'Neal Cruz, and I believe I will take O'Neal Cruz. Well, we'll see here. Adele is going to be a fine one as well. Taylor Ward could be playable as well. I mean, you know, there are some guys out here that do hit power, but stolen bases, I don't know. I'm sitting good with a Rosarena, Wood. All right, well, those are my guys. So I think I'm going to need to take O'Neal Cruz, get me the terrible batting average and low home runs, right? Yeah, no thanks. So what's available at relief pitcher still? We got Ryan Helsley, Carlos Estevez. And at starting pitcher, there's still some players out here. Lopez, Sonny Gray. That's wow. What he did with his ERA and WHIP was tragic. Zach Wheeler. I do believe in Zach Wheeler, but we don't know how that's going to turn out. So let's come on back over here, fellas, and I think I'm going to go ahead on with Joe Odell. I'm up, and I'm looking at some of these starting pitchers that are here because I've decided to wait on second base with Brandon Lau. But I'm also going to look at some of these relief pitchers because we've got, you know, I've got a good look at McGill here, and I'm thinking that McGill makes a fine second closer for me. So let's go ahead and do that. With my pick up, fellas, I'm going to take this Agustin Ramirez. Augustine. And see, here's the thing. He's a catcher that decent batting average, you know, not spectacular runs and RBIs, but pretty good for a catcher. Decent home runs, but he also steals bases, so we're going to pull that and put that catcher on our team. A lot of times I would wait for Yanier Diaz, but this is going to be a good one because, like I said, we're not worried about stolen bases now. I mean, we've got a decent number. We got a lot left to focus on with our team here. I need more starting pitchers, obviously. I could stand another closer. So we got a little more work to do here. Still need to get Brandon Lau at second base, couple of utility guys. I still need 3 more starting pitchers just to fill out the starting lineup. So I've got to get to work there. Let's take a look at who's available. If I can get Michael King, Robbie Ray. I don't hate the idea of a Ryan Pepio, Ranger Suarez, Gavin Williams. So I think we're going to stay focused on the pitchers right now for the next 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds. Depends on what they get back to me. It's my turn, and I am still focused on looking at these starting pitchers here. I don't know. I don't feel great about Lodolo's chances of getting wins. Robbie Ray will have better opportunities there. Tanner Bibby, man, he really came apart last year. Alcantara, blah. But we got Gavin Williams and Ranger Suarez here. And, Gavin Williams, Ranger Suarez. I do like Suarez. I like Williams. I like them both, fellas. I like them both. So I think I'll go ahead and take Ranger Suarez. All right. It's my pick, and they just took the guy I wanted, was Lodolo. So in the absence of that, I mean, Robbie Ray, you know, in his second year back, you know, he had the, Tommy John surgery 2 years ago almost. You know, last year was a pretty good year for him, I'm going to be honest. Last year was a spectacular year for Robbie Ray. Do I want to take a chance that he repeats? Maybe I do. Let's grab some Robbie Ray. All right, it is my pick. And we're going to finish off this set of pitchers with Andrew Abbott. Had a fine season last year. His strikeouts out up there with the top guys. You know, he's not going to put in a lot of wins in Cincinnati. But, you know, great ERA and whip. He's a good player, and so let's take Andrew Abbott. Okay, so I've got to look at getting some fellas here on more of these starting pitchers because I don't want to regret not grabbing some fellas. You know what I'm saying? There's some guys here, especially guys that I've got queued up. You can see I've got Ashcraft queued up right here. I'm thinking about Cade Horton. I'm thinking about Priester. Ryan Nelson could be a fine grab. You know, if we're looking to secure that ERA and whip really well. Sasaki's down here later. So I think we're going to go ahead and grab Horton. I'm worried about my second baseman getting back to me. But I'm also worried about missing out on some of these fine picks at starting pitcher. I mean, Nelson is a good one. Priester is a good one. Priester or Nelson? I think I want to grab Nelson, but I'm definitely going to have to grab my second baseman on the way back. All right, we're back to me, fellas. And here's where we start. I'm going to start with Torkelson because I've got two different second basemen lined up here. So let's get this power on my team in the utility spot. I'm thinking I could utility Swanson. I've got Lau and Torres lined up, and then I've still got Priester, Cameron, and Casey Mize that I've got queued up over here on my starting pitchers. So we'll see what comes back around, fellas. We're just going to do it. Taking Lau right here so that I know I've got him. There. My team is set for utility, 1 bench bat, and 2 more bench pitchers. And we're going to take Quinn Priester. Filling out more of those starting pitchers for my army of pitchers. We're once again back to me. Now is the decision maker. Ashcraft. I liked him last year. Mize really liked him last year. Cantillo has a chance at doing some stuff. But man, Mize, Ashcraft, this is some good chances on some young players. I got to take some chances here. Everybody does. And then I think I'm going to take Manzardo for my utility, but I'm not sure. But okay, anyways, I'm going to take Ramos. Put him in utility. Now I've got an option for one of these pitchers and my bench bat that I like to have. So that should work out fine. I've got Ramos, who plays in the outfield. You know I like to have an outfielder in that utility position if I've got a bench bat. 2 picks to go. I'm going to take Cantillo. If you had him on your team last year, you understand why. You know, in these 13 starts he had at the end of the season, man, he posted a good ERA and whip, great strikeout to walk ratio. So I'm going to take him. And then on my final pick, we will decide between these 3 fellas who's going to be the bench player. Will it be a bat, Kyle Manzardo? Will it be Casey Mize? Will it be Ashcraft? All right, we're back to me for my final pick. Manzardo was taken, so I looked up for a particular player, Spencer Steer. I don't mind a Spencer Steer on the team. You know, he could get back to a 2020 season, although last year's stolen bases were just down. Then we got Casey Mize, and we've got Ashcraft. Mize, Steer, and Ashcraft. That's a toughie. Give me a second to think about this. Do I want the extra bat to give me some extra power? You know, I mean, he will get 20 home runs again. That's pretty much where he's stuck for the rest of his life, I'm pretty sure. Or do I get Casey Mize to Steer, maybe? You know what? Let's take Steer. We're at the bottom of it all. Last pick. Let's take a chance on a guy getting those stolen bases back up. All right. Well, that is the end of our second draft. This one is head-to-head categories, $100 Yahoo Yahoo Prize League. So, Overall, I believe we've got another good team here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this team overall. Random City Sports Ballers number 1. We've got Ramirez as catcher, Matt Olson, Brandon Lau, Junior Caminero, Corey Seager, James Wood, Randy Arozarena, Joe Adele, Spencer Torkelson, Heliot Ramos, and then there's Spencer Steer. But we've got good pitching: Scooble, Logan Webb, Araldis Chapman, Trevor McGill, and Kevin Gausman, with Ranger Suarez and Robbie Ray, assuming he'll keep it up. And then Andrew Abbott rounds out our starting pitching. Then we've got Cade Horton, Ryan Nelson, Quinn Priester, and Joey Cantillo. Man, I'd love to see Cantillo stick in that rotation and keep doing what he was doing last year. So, it looks like we've got a good team put together here. This will be a playoff team, and, well, we'll see you for our next draft. I'm not sure when that'll come up. It'll be soon.